The law enforcement agencies are hard at work ensuring the full compliance of the state of emergency regulations. Some Namibians seem to be disobeying the regulations aimed at curbing the further spreading of the pandemic. Now joining us via telephone is the police spokesperson, Deputy Commissioner Kauna Shikwambi. Good evening, Deputy Commissioner, and thank you so much for making the time to join us.
Good evening to you. Good evening to the listeners.
Well, could you briefly just share with us the overall behavior that NAMPOL has picked up of Namibians with regards to the state of emergency regulations?
Theo, thank you. I would say that the overall behavior of the Namibian people is really commendable, especially members of the society who opt to be law-abiding citizens. They really deserve an applause. We are, however, challenged with a few who are still, since the declaration of the state of emergency, they opt to rebel the stipulated measures and regulations of the COVID-19 pandemic. So those are the people who are really making our tasks and our operations to be very difficult and challenging. But overall, we should really commend those who are bringing their part and abide to the stipulated rules and regulations of this country and that of the state of emergency.
Indeed. Now, for those that have been, of course, then caught violating the regulations, have there been any arrests in regards to these violations towards the regulations?
Still, our modus operandi was never to arrest. And therefore, I want to reiterate that from the onset, when we started enforcing the state of emergency regulations, we made it clear that our COVID-19 operation is aimed at educating the public. We are to warn the public, and then lastly to fine the offenders as per the stipulated cost that the government has proclaimed. So arrest was really a last resort. And when we have to arrest, then there must be extreme violation of a certain case, of course, depending on the merit of the case. So arrest is not really our operation during the COVID-19, where we are enforcing the state of emergency regulations. But to educate, to warn, and then to disperse, and of course, in last resort, to fine.
Now, where or in which regions are these regulations not being adhered to? And what are some of the possible reasons for these specific violations?
There is a violation of all the regulations, one would say. But the one that is really challenging remains the contravention of Regulation 7, the one that prohibits the sale of alcohol. So that one really is still a major concern. I have few statistics that I have obtained from the police the National Joint Operations Center, and the indication is that from Friday, the 15th of May, 6 o'clock morning hours, to today, 17 May, 1400 hours, 174 people were fined. Oshikoto region topped the list with 66 offenders, followed by Commerce region with 53 offenders. And then the rest of the regions, they all recorded less than 10, between 8 and 1. So that was the violations or the people we fined during the weekend. The contravention in this regard is people who were intercepted within the city, maybe selling alcohol or found to be purchasing alcohol or consuming alcohol while they are gathered in bigger numbers, and hence violating the public gathering regulation as well as social distancing. So other successes were also at the various checkpoints that we have across the country, and then as well as at the borders in Zambezi, in the Kavango region, in the Musati region, as well as Ohangwena region, respectively.
Well, Deputy Commissioner, any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us before we go?
It's perhaps just to encourage the public that it is indeed not yet over. We are still prone to contract the virus. We are believed to say there are no new cases, there is no death reported, so they assume it's business as usual. But until and unless the government pronounces itself otherwise, I don't think we can call it normal or business as usual. So we cannot rest. So maybe just to encourage the public, let us abide to the regulations. Please give utmost cooperation as we are enforcing the regulations and maintaining law and order in the country. And let us remain calm, let's remain hopeful that the situation will change.
Indeed. Deputy Commissioner, thank you once again for making the time to join us.
Thank you, Theo, and good night.
Well, there you have it. That was the police spokesperson, Deputy Commissioner Kauna Shikwambi, just giving us an overall view in terms of the overall behavior of Namibians during this period, of course, of the state of emergency, and just outlining some of the regulations that are currently being, of course, then violated by some of the Namibians out there. And of course, then just leaving us with a stern message that it certainly is not far from over, and we should ensure that we still continue to abide by those regulations.